Okay, day 558 off the grid. Now those of you who also follow my text-based blogs on LO, I'm not going to say the URL here, but I'll put it in the description. How's that, eh? We'll know that over the last few days, several days in fact, I have been sick as a dog. Had some major head cold virus thing. Not quite the flu, but getting towards it, and possibly a little bout of food poisoning thrown in there on top of things. So I've really been sort of laid out for a bit, although today things have started to come right a little bit and the weather was good today and I'm feeling a lot better now. So this afternoon I got into a wee bit more solar, so I've got as far as laying the cable now for the ground mount panel, the 140 watt. So there we go. I used a piece of 2.5mm TPS, so it's got 3 cores. It's your standard builder's cable, you know, mains cable. I've paralleled the earth and the neutral together for the negative pole, and the phase will be the phase conductors, just the positive pole. So you know that gives a pretty nice chunky piece of copper overall with quite a low voltage drop, and it goes through the tree. It's tree power. Yes, John, I did ask the tree permission before sticking these screws in this time, because last time I did it with that other tree, the thing fell off. So yeah, just an electric fence insulator, not using the conventional way. You'd normally put the wire through that centerpiece there and sort of turn it around and then it'd be held, but I've just kind of put it around the rim because it would normally just be a piece of number 8 fencing wire. But that holds the cable there, and then we go across to the shed. Probably overkill, this piece of old power pole that I got off some linesmen a couple of years ago when they were updating some cabling down the street. They gave me a few bits and pieces. I got this out initially. I was going to use it, then I thought, nah, that's too much, and because I didn't know how I was going to mount it, and then I thought, I'll just use a hook. I'll just use a hook. So I was just going to use this hook here with the cable around it, but then I was a bit worried about, you know, over time the cable might chafe on that hook. TPS is actually, they call it tough plastic sheath, but it's actually soft as shit, you know. And then I thought, why don't I just hang the insulator on the hook, see if that'll work, and it works, and it kind of looks cool. So that's how I terminated that end, and it's solid, you know, they can move around, but it won't just fall out. That hook's in that wood quite nicely. But really, that's about as far as I got today. I'll go in the shed and show you the bare ends. By the time I got all this done and got these ends stripped off, of course, the sun had just gone off the panel, so I was only able to measure a couple of 100 milliamps of current production, but that's alright. It proves that the wiring's solid. I had good success in terminating those MC4s with the new soldering on too. Cranked it up to 450 and it just went quite well, so I was quite happy about that. Although I did something slightly different this time. Rather than doing a normal solder joint and then sort of just crimping over with the top of the crimp, I actually pre-crimped them and then just flowed solder onto them. Seemed to work pretty well. So got my ends. Still got to make up my mind whether I want to just run it into the bus or whether I want to run it through a controller separately into the A bank. Because if I do run it as a separate feed, it's going to be into the A bank. But if I do use a controller, this is what I'm going to use, this Votronic Maximum PowerPoint technology made in Germany, Geo 160. And it's got lithium battery capabilities, but that doesn't concern me. I was just going to mount it up here actually, like that. We'll see. But the merits of this are, it can actually support 2 batteries. So you've got your house batteries, which are these main terminals here, No macro on this thing, got to remember that. And then just over there's these wee terminals. Well, that first wee terminal there is actually a secondary charging port for your starter battery, usually if you had this in a camper van. So what I thought I might do is connect that secondary port to the bus. So the main port will be connected directly to the A-bank, but the secondary port will be connected to the bus. So if there's excess charge and it's shoveling it across to what it thinks is a starter battery, the rest of the batteries will get a little bit. So it's kind of like having your cake and eating it too, connecting it to just one battery and to all the batteries. Of course, that's if it works. It may not work. Sometimes these things don't work in the way you expect. Sometimes they just blow up in your face. You're going to put a diode between it and the bus anyway, just to stop anything like that from happening. If I do it that way, like I say, I'm still umming and ahhing, because the reason why I bought that controller really was to use it with those panels up there on the lean-to, well, one set anyway, because it'll only handle about one set, because those panels have got too many cells in them. Instead of 36 cells, I think, how many is it? I think there's 48. I think there's 24 cells on each unit, so it puts out well in excess of something like 27 volts at maximum power point or something like that. So you know, while the MPPT controller will get more power out of this, and that's all good, it would really start to make these panels come into their own. But then again, ideally I'd like a controller that's big enough that I could just bung all three on it, rather than have to dill around having separate controllers for each one. So you know, something to think about. Think about it overnight, and if I get time tomorrow, then I'll do it how I'm going to do it, or I might not get time tomorrow, who knows. But it's come today Indian again, and things are getting dark, and I better start chopping up some wood. At least I won't be suffering so much doing that today as I was over the last couple of days. So that's something. Anyway, on day 558 off the grid.